Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story. And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
What is going on, guys? I am Matty Ice. He is Caniacs, and this is the Canes Call-In Pod. Caniacs, how you doing tonight?
I am doing great. How about you, my friend?
Oh, I'm doing phenomenal. You know, I always get mixed up with this time difference, you know, since you're in Arizona, and you're like, oh yeah, it's 6, and then I'm like, oh yeah. And I'm like, oh wait, it's 5 here.
Right, yeah, that stupid time change.
Yeah.
Boy, I wish the rest of the world would follow.
I know, for real, man. So anyways, man, what have you been up to, man?
Oh, man. Just working, you know, watching my kid, working, trying to deal with this school. They're talking about they want them to go back to school, but then they call and say they don't go back to school. So who knows? It's all up in here. So we're just living day by day. Very excited this week. Like I said in the last podcast, by the way, sorry about not having one last week. Work comes before play. So, you know, we got to make money somehow. So people were busy. So like I said, we apologize for not having one last week. But anyways, we got a good show for you today. My boy Laz is coming on. I can't wait to talk some Mark Light Mob, some baseball today. And of course, we're going to get his view on the state of the program. And from our text messages today, might not be some happy fans out there, but we'll see exactly what he has to say.
And you're talking about
football wise. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, football wise. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. Yep. Football wise.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's I think it's a 50-50, you know, difference of opinions, don't you now?
Yes, so exactly.
Not like he's in the minority, so.
Oh, no. Not at all.
Yeah. So, man, how
about you? What you been up to? Besides work, because I know that's what you've been doing.
Yeah, I've been working a lot. Just, you know, it's our year end at work, so just been trying to do as much as I can. Super random. I used to be into like sport card collecting, and
I saw that. Yeah,
and my buddy sent me like a picture and was like, "Yo, like, did you know that like it's like a huge thing to like collect cards now and like buy them and stuff? Because I guess like Walmart and Target have been like sold out of like, and everyone's trying to get them, you know, and like resell them or whatever. And so I have a bunch of I have a bunch of like rookie cards and like what have you. Like I have a rookie Giannis card or
what?
Yeah, and
Gianni,
so like
that's right.
yeah, and so I saw it being sold like on eBay for like $400, and I'm like, what? Yeah, and then just another one too. No, I haven't done it yet, but I'm going to. But I also have like an autographed Kobe card that like I saw the same one listed on eBay for like $4K, and I was like, what?
Yeah. I saw that when you posted that. That's awesome.
Yeah, that was the one, and so I'm like, I don't know if I want to do anything with it, but you know.
Yeah, I wouldn't just yet. Let it ride a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to bring more, but I mean, it's 1 year anniversary since him and Gigi died, but we all know what happens with cards and sports memorabilia after the guys pass away.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's only been 1 year, and you know how this works. Next year, the year after.
Isn't it crazy though that it like just saying that it's been 1 year?
Yeah, it is.
When I was
it's hard to believe, though, to be honest.
Yeah, when I was on my lunch break, they were doing like, have you ever seen The Jump on ESPN? Yeah, they were doing like a Kobe special, and I was just like, man, like it's crazy to me because like as everyone knows, I live in Orange County, which is right outside of LA County. So like I went to the Staples Center after it happened, and just seeing the like amounts of people that were there, you know, just remembering him and stuff. It was just crazy, but yeah, man.
Yeah, it was a kind of sad going up and down the timeline on Twitter. Yeah, Facebook, all of them, to be honest with you. TikTok, everybody, they're all got their Kobe and Gigi, you know, 1 year anniversary pictures and sayings and all this stuff, and it's just, you know, puts it all back into perspective again.
I think it's just one of those moments that like you remember where you were when you heard the news, you know, kind of a thing. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's just I feel like I'm gonna remember it for the rest of my life, like when I first got that notification and stuff. But yeah. Anyways, man, but I'm, you know, all said and done, I'm excited to be back on the mic with you tonight. ready
Yes.
to talk some Canes. You know, I'm not well versed in Canes baseball, but I know you are more so. So, and I'm excited to hear what Laz has to say, man. I don't know about you.
Yeah, if there's anybody that I know of that knows baseball, it's him. Because
Yeah.
whenever I've been following him, Laz, on Twitter for a long time. I've communicated with him back and forth on Twitter. He's a good follow. He's a good dude. Got a heart of gold, and he's always before COVID, obviously, he was always throwing pictures of him and the mob guys from Mark Light Mob and his wife, and always throwing pictures from the stadium there. So
Hmm.
he's excited, and the way that Canes baseball right now has a very good shot of going to Omaha, and we're going to break that down a little bit later. But very exciting if you like Canes baseball.
Yeah. So, man, you want to do our 305 check-in?
Let's do it. It's been a while.
Yeah. What is going on, guys? We are back with our 305 check-in. So, Caniacs, I kind of wanted to just get into this a little bit. I don't want to talk about it too much just because I'm disappointed. Canes hoops, man. I want to say, let's see, since the last time we've done a show, they lost 3 games and won 1, I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to remember if that when was the last time we did a show? It was like 2 weeks ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. They had we had watched them lose to Boston College
Correct.
live.
I remember that. Yep.
Yeah.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
And then they ended up beating Louisville, who was ranked 16 at the time. That was when Wong had like 30. He was balling out. And then they lost to Syracuse.
I know the man.
Which, I mean, honestly, I expected them to lose to Syracuse just because when you're such a poor 3-point shooting team and you're going against a team that only plays zone, like, I'm sorry, it's going to happen.
It's going to happen,
you know?
Yeah.
And then same with, like, Notre Dame, man, just couldn't buy an outside shot, and it's just, I don't know. I don't know what to say. They obviously need to practice their outside shooting more. And I think the thing that people don't realize too is it's not just practicing like just shooting threes. It's like game shots. You know what I mean? Like coming off the screen and stuff. I don't know. Something's got to be fixed though. Like it's just like becoming too much of a trend at this point. You know, and I get it.
So let me ask you a serious question. No, go ahead. I'm going to ask you a serious question. I'm going to put you on the spot.
Okay.
Is this Coach L's last year?
So I think that's a good question. Is it Manny's last year this year? No, but
we'll move on to that when Laz calls.
Yeah, I know. I'm just joking. I think it really I don't see them firing him after this year. Even with like the past 2 years, them being like so substandard in the ACC. I just think that they're gonna look at things, you know, like the injuries and you know what's going on with COVID and stuff. Even though it's amazing to see that like with all the injuries, there's not been anything related to COVID for this team.
Right.
But every game there's like 2 or 3 guys out at least. I think they had 7 guys when they played Notre Dame last game, but I don't know. It's just frustrating.
Right, because if you want to talk about potential, a team potential, and where they're lacking at, that's Canes hoops right now.
Yeah, no, they have all the potential in the world. It's just
they're
guys
not living up to it.
Yeah, they're not really living up to it. They're not shooting well, but like, jeez, I don't really have anything else to say.
I got you. All right, well, we'll move on from that.
Yeah, man.
Here we go. Here comes the Lazarus. So let's go ahead and answer that right now.
All right.
Yeah, my bad, bro.
There he is. No. You're good, man. You're good, bro. It's our fault. No worries. We just continue. When you call, you call. Don't sweat it, my brother. I know you moving.
Yeah, man. I was up there looking at houses in Ocala today. And word of advice: don't take your wife house hunting. You'll never buy one. You'll never buy one, dude.
I believe it. Oh yeah.
Yeah, man. We had one house we were gonna put on the contract today, and then another realtor texted her pictures of another house, and we ran to that house, And then when we were at that house, another realtor sent her another picture of 2 houses, so we ended up seeing 3 or 4 houses, and we made offers on none.
Oh my goodness, that's funny.
Yeah, bro.
If that isn't how it
shop
goes.
for houses today.
Well, that's all good. You'll get it, man.
It's
You'll get it. You got to find the right one for you guys, man.
Yeah.
Man, I just need room to put all my animals, man. All that other stuff, she's looking at sinks and floors and walls. I spend most of my time outside anyway.
There you go. Tell her you can put that. Tell her you can go ahead and put that stuff in later on.
Yeah, man. That's what's up, man. How you guys doing?
Doing good, man. Doing
Great,
good.
man.
I appreciate you taking the time, man. I know you've been doing a lot of running around. You got a lot of house hunting and all that stuff, but we appreciate you coming on the show tonight.
Man, brother, it's an absolute pleasure and a break from the monotony, of again, looking for a house, start a new job, and all the stuff that's going on. So it's a pleasure to relax. I'm actually picking my kid up to take him to work, and chilling in the car, hanging out with you guys, man, and talking Canes baseball and anything Canes.
Let's
Awesome.
go. All right, so let's just go ahead and get into it right off the bat, lads. Let's get the bad stuff out of the way and get into some good work, okay? So,
all right, bro.
As we chatted a little bit earlier through text messages, I told you I was going to ask you what is your opinion on the state of the program and where and the direction you think it's headed? For
football or baseball?
Baseball or football?
Sorry. Let me be clear. For football, where do you think? I keep forgetting sometimes. You got to forgive me. But yeah, for football, how do you think? What is your thoughts on the state of the program, and then what do you think about the future?
I mean, like I told you earlier, man, and I like to give every coach, their time. I know I gave Al, his full tenure. I was hoping Randy would figure it out, so waited a long time for him to get it, and I had high hopes for Rick. And, they basically, he basically put an Al Golden and didn't want to get rid of his son. Didn't want to hire a coordinator, so he left. I think Manny's going down the same path, man. I think Manny's another guy that's just warming the seat up, getting a little on-the-job training, collecting a decent-sized check, and then he's going to get canned. That's what I think. What I want is for them to come out this year, if not beat, put up a good fight against Bama, and then dominate the rest of their season and end up somewhere, playing for something. But I honestly, I don't see it happening, man. I would have had a different opinion had Manny cleaned house and got a new defensive coordinator, brought some guys like Kevin Patrick in, who's dying to get to Miami. He's coaching at SAU. When he was at NC State, Miami courted him. They tried to lure him away. It wasn't the right time for him to make a move, and now that he's calling Miami, he's trying to get Manny on the phone, and he's willing to come back and help erect, the crumble, the disaster that is his alma mater. They don't want to talk to the guy. They're not taking his calls, and, Manny taking over defensive coordinator duties or play calling just tells me that Manny doesn't know what the hell he's doing. He's the head coach. What's he doing on the sideline calling plays? Can he hire somebody that's capable? And up to now, the answer to that is no.
Yeah,
that's a good take.
Well, I think so. I think people playing both sides. People are saying, he's willing to make the changes. He let Dan Enos go. He brought in Rhett Lashley. But is he not? Is that only because it was on the offensive side of the ball? Because now when it's his defense, he doesn't fire Blake Baker. He says, he's going to take over the play calling now. So I see the argument, that people are making.
But honestly, what has Lashley done? I mean, realistically, is it an improvement or Enos? I mean, my kid just got in the car. He probably can call a better game than Enos did. Yeah.
I don't know about that.
It's arguably, how much better are we with Lashley? I mean, we're not. And that's just, an ugly fact. And I agree, man. He's standoffish and skittish to get rid of his buddy. But again, the same, insanity is repeating the same thing over and over again. You know, Al Golden wouldn't get rid of Onofrio. I took the D away for obvious reasons.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and Rick with his son, and refusal to bring in a coordinator, and he had the same issues in Georgia. You know, so we continue this cycle of hiring guys. First of all, look, I am against, hiring rookie coaches.
Mm-hmm.
Randy Shannon, deserved an opportunity. I was all for hiring Randy, even though he was a rookie. But I learned a valuable lesson there that this is not a job that you can come and punch in and learn the ropes. You have to come prepared to do what we need done. We need to rebuild this program. This program's in the gutter.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and yeah, we might have a 10-win season like we did with Rick, but having one 10-win season, making a good bowl game, and it does not a good program make. And in order to get back to where my expectations are, it's going to take spending. First of all, they got to break bread. They got to bring a guy in here of experience and quality. The talent on the team is a bad argument, dude. We get kids that are recruited by Bama, by Florida, all the top programs, and they end up coming here. And then to add insult to injury, a lot of these guys leave here, go pro, that never won anything here. Some of them barely made the field, and then they go pro and they're in the NFL, like Feliciano, and guys like that Sam Shields is a guy, that played here when Randy was coaching. Mm-hmm. Randy told me himself, I asked him, why doesn't Shields play wide receiver? Why doesn't we have a hard time finding a place for Sam? Literally, Randy told me that in his own words. Then Shields leaves here, goes to Green Bay, and he single-handedly practically takes them to the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
You have to scratch your head, and how many times are you going to hit the same post with it? You got to go out and you got to spend $3, $4, $5 million a year on a head coach and have him rebuild this program, because right now, we don't even have a building. We got a vacant lot.
The only thing I can say against that is between Mark, Rick, and Golden is, it took 5 years of the same crap with Golden. He refused to change. You know what I mean? With Rick, it was just 3 years he refused to change. But if I'm not mistaken, Rick said that the reason why he was stepping down was because he didn't have the energy to turn the program around from the inside. So that tells me right there that there was a bunch of shit, pardon my language, that was going on. And we kind of saw that during the year too. You got people smoking dope instead of playing at games, things like that.
But that's always happened here, man. I mean, I used to live in Little Havana in the glory days, 80s and 90s, and I'm not going to name names, but a lot of these guys came from tracks that I was working at, and we served up a lot of grass and other things to a lot of Hurricane players when I was a kid in those streets. And then that never made those guys any better, any less athlete, any less champions. And it was the glory years. It was the expectation that you would go to the Orange Bowl and by halftime you can go out and party in the lot because the game was over.
Absolutely.
And that's not an excuse. And I'm gonna I don't know if this is breaking news or that, but I'm gonna tell you, Rick, when he left Georgia, had his mindset on taking a year or two off. You know what I'm saying? And somebody very close to him in this community on sports radio that remained friends with him for years. Hold on, my son's going to work. Give him a kiss.
No worries, bro.
Love you. Have a good day. See you tomorrow. Yeah. All right, get off the car, kid. Take your burgers with you. I don't want the crap. All right. Yeah, man. 21. They might grow up and out, but they really never stop being kids.
Bro, I got a 27-year-old. I got
like
you.
I was saying, there you go. You know what time it is, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say it, man. Joe Rose. That's the reason that that there's a Coleridge lad is because Joe Rose put me on the map. I always loved Joe for that. Joe Rose told me, man. He wants to take a year off. I don't know. And then all of a sudden, he decides to come coach at Miami. So really, it was like, I don't want to say nobody forced anybody to take the job, but he was lobbied heavily to come here. His family wanted to live in South Florida. So they basically, convinced him to take the job. And you know what? From the get-go, that was doing. Now, you have to have tremendous intestinal fortitude, will, and a desire to build something, and it's easy to move into a program that's established and just continue winning. Like that's what Larry Coker did, until he ran out of Butch's players. So, from the get-go, Rick coming here was a bad fit for him and for us.
Well, I have to disagree because we got IPF from Rick. We got, some of the dorms are done because of Rick. I mean, he did a lot. Now, granted, he didn't get a. You're talking.
On the field. I mean, yeah, gotcha. I'm talking about what we care about. None of us are gonna ever hang out in the IPF. We're not gonna sleep in those dorms.
Right.
You know what I mean? What matters to you and I is what happens on Saturdays.
No,
and,
you're right.
And we all gotta agree. Outside of that 10-win season that was fool's gold, the fan per se, and I'm gonna tell you, Rick attends my church when he was living in town. He's a tremendous man, a good father, a good Christian. Personally, I'd leave my kids to babysit with Rick, and that says a lot. And the same goes for Al. Al's tremendous people. But they were bad fits here for what matters. What matters is the field. Right. Al inherited a terrible deal here because when Al got here, nobody told him that we were about to get slammed by the NCAA.
Right.
That they were going to investigate. He should have done his homework. His agent should have done his homework, and then he would have had the choice to accept the job or not. But so
yeah, but it's not like he was lacking in talent, though. Yeah. He had talent on them teams, so
absolutely no coach in Miami since Howard Schnellenberger has had a lack of talent or something to work with. That's not our story. It's still not our story. But the problem is development. Randy Shannon, I think, had a number 1, number 7, and if I'm not mistaken, a top 15 class.
Yes,
he took all the Northwestern Bulls. It was tremendous talent on this team, and Randy Shannon couldn't make chicken salad. Had made chicken shit out of chicken salad. To reverse quote Gary Stevens. So it's a problem with development, man. And when these guys, Gino Torretta, when these Warren Sapp, Michael Irvin, when they tell you that practice was the hardest part of playing at Miami, that Saturdays was like going out, hanging out, throwing the ball around with the boys, they mean that, bro. And the roster, this is what kills me. The roster should be written in sand. Starting positions should be battled for during the week, and then on Saturday, whoever plays, whoever practice best goes on the field. Randy stopped that. One of the greatest kids to ever come to Miami, and I love him to death. He's like a kid to me, like a son to me. Ja'Cory Harris had him for his job and had to compete week to week for his job. Ja'Cory Harris would have had a different career at Miami. But he had nobody. He was guaranteed to start. Ja'Cory could go out on Saturday, throw 9 interceptions. That next Saturday he was going to be under center, ready to play, starting quarterback. And that's not right.
Gotcha. No, I agree with you there.
Can I just say, too, I agree with you, too, specifically, because I think when you look at position-wise, I think I agree with you in terms of receivers and linebackers, obviously we saw later in the year they had I don't know if you remember when they would release the depth chart, they had the OR, for all the receivers and stuff.
They had everybody.
Yeah. But the one thing, do you think that that's kind of like far-fetched now, though, too, just because of like now, kids are just transferring whenever they want,
But look, it's a different animal, and unfortunately, college sports has to me, taken a turn for the worst. But explain Alabama, explain Ohio State, explain Notre Dame. These are all programs that were not Ohio State. They're bums. They became somebody after they cheated. They robbed us. And I'm gonna tell you again, I don't know how many years it's been. I stopped counting, but damn, Terry Porter. So
absolutely
these programs that were competitive when we were kids, when we the glory years, Alabama, again, and Notre Dame, they've all Florida State, had a run with Jimbo. I hate to admit it, Florida also has had some success. Explain that, and how come we've never been able to get a leg back up? Kids transfer, but you got to make this place, worth staying at. You got to make this place a place where, everybody goes to the NFL now. They got kids from Central Michigan Culinary School going to the NFL.
Right. If you're good, they'll find you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly, because that's the game. There's guys now that make hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars, scouting little schools for those diamonds in the rough. So you got to offer something different at Miami. And I know the bagman and that all still goes on. It's just undercover. And whenever we hand somebody a soda, we got the NCAA knocking on the door. I get it.
The
But you gotta
McDonald's
find
bag.
a way.
Yeah, you can go to McDonald's and nothing happens to you.
Yeah, you need to find a way, like these other programs have found a way to remain relevant and successful. And Miami just seems to, that process seems to just elude us. And it's a big part with the AD, man. As much as I like Blake James as a person, he's a crappy AD. Now, he's done his crowning achievement is baseball that we'll talk about in a minute. But as far as football goes, he gets a tremendous F from me because, really, football has nosedived. First, we had two idiots, that Einhorn that never left his office. That was his name, whatever. I don't know, Isaac, whatever his name was.
I can't remember.
And then the other guy that went to neither do I. One guy we never saw. He had the job and he never left his office. He was scared, I guess, to be in Miami. But yeah, man, it's terrible. But we can't use the excuse of different times, different kids, different. That doesn't apply to the teams that are on top.
So
gotcha. Just
kind of to wrap up football a little bit here. Is there anything specifically that Manny can do this year to like change your opinion, or is it something that's going to have to take a longer course?
I'm going to wait and see the season. I mean, at this point, there's no more staff changes. Mm-hmm. At this point, I don't know. I really, don't understand the parameters of the transfer portal. I pretty much, by my understanding, it's a free-for-all. So maybe he can get somebody out of the portal, to come here and, like King. And, what? It encouraged me that the kid stayed. And stuff like that. So, maybe get somebody to surround the kid with talent, a couple of receivers that can actually hold on to the ball, stuff like that. But as far as, I gotta see the season play out. And honestly, if we have another season like the last one, I mean, it's time for it's never time for banners. I hate that. But it's time for the fan base to rise up, talk about it's time to get rid of Manny, man, because,
Yep.
And
like
really,
we talked,
there's nothing he can do but win.
Yep, like we talked about earlier. If he fails this last season, I'll be the first ones flying the plane. So.
Yeah.
But I mean.
Hey, you did say that.
But so let's wrap that up with the football. I really appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? Your insight and everything. But now let's get to some good news. Some good news. We're gonna talk about Canes baseball now.
Now, that's my baby, man. That's my first love.
Right, I know. That's why I wanted to get you on here. So where you want to start out? You want to start off with the roster or the schedule?
I mean, it's all good. I mean, we just start off with the roster, man. You got, I think we got 3 All-Americans, 1 first team, a couple of second teams, and a bunch of honorable mentions. I mean, you between 2 kids. I mean, you call them kids, but they're grown men.
Trio.
Between 2 of these. Yeah, you got, I think, 38, 39 home runs last year. Grandal hit 24. I think the Castillo hit 14. I mean, it's a power team, and then the pitching is also on point. And number 1 recruiting class coming in. I got to say something, man. When they announced that Gino was going to be, stepping in after 3, I was one of those people. I was like, man, here we go, bro. They're going to do the same thing they did to football. And I could not have been more wrong. And I actually apologized to Gino, when I saw him, at the Fan Fest, and, last year. And I told him, bro, I was totally off the mark, dude. This is a pleasant surprise and one that's awesome for me because I love Canes baseball. I love Mark Light. We started the Mark Light mob many years ago, and we were spoiled. We had the Wizard. 3 had a lot of success until the last few years that, he tanked. But Gino seems to be, cut from the same cloth as Frazier and, and 3 when he first came in, and I'm looking forward to it. I think they're gonna have a monster season.
I think those
it's a
two.
shame that COVID. Yeah.
Yeah, because they got 8 of the 9 returning starting hitters from last year's team.
Tremendous, man. That's outrageous. I don't think you can name another baseball team in NCAA that has all these kids coming back.
Yeah.
Kids that could have went pro.
Right. Yeah. Not even Florida doesn't have that many coming back, and they're pretty much the number 1 team this year.
Yeah, I mean, let me tell you something. Aside from the Florida series, and I will continue to say this: it cannot get back to Hurricane baseball if it doesn't do 2 things. If it doesn't beat the in-state rivals, Florida State, because we're I think the only sport that basketball plays them too. Does basketball play Florida?
No, I don't think they play Florida.
No, they don't.
Yeah, I think
they haven't.
I think baseball's the only team that still plays for the state. The quote unquote state title. So they gotta beat Florida State, consistently, and they gotta make Omaha. And I think Gino's on the cusp, of doing that this year, and getting to Omaha. And the virus cut it short last year, but we were on pace to have a great season, man. And I'm excited.
Absolutely. Yeah, we were. I mean, I remember that Florida series. I remember watching it because we were number 1. I think they were number 2, if I'm not mistaken. And it wasn't really a good outing. The first game was a much better game than the other 2, if I can remember correctly. The first game was close. I don't think the second and third. What was that, Bud?
Saturday wasn't terrible. Friday was great.
Yeah, Friday was great.
They lost the game by a run or 2.
Mm-hmm.
Saturday was a little bit more of a challenge, and then Sunday was just misery.
Right.
We sat there for it. And, it's hard to left, and siéntate and all that stuff when, you're down 5-6 runs,
Yeah.
So it's hard to get motivated. But again, that means nothing to us. The mob is going to be out there, and we're going to make noise if they let us in the stadium, if there's fans allowed. From what I hear, it's going to be half or something like that, which is great. Because aside from Florida State, we basically have the stadium to ourselves anyway.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's a shortened year, but so the pitching rotation. How do you feel about our starting 5?
I mean, listen. There's this thing with Miami, that Miami has always produced great pitchers, and at the end of the day, the rotation depends on the quality that you can, that you can put on the mound.
Mm-hmm.
I think the biggest part of our game is the closers. We've had tremendous closers, even in the lean years with 3. So we got to focus on that, and I think I think that one of the young men that's coming up this year is going to be the closer. His name escapes me. But there's this thing with Miami that it's only about hitting the ball, and
Mm-hmm.
that's not true. We have to pitch well. It's a pitcher's game, and we got to respond. I think Gino did a great job, with the rotation last year, and it can only get better. I mean, I have the highest expectations for kids like Fetterman, and Wagner,
Mm-hmm.
and we need to get on point. This kid was at USC last year. He had basically a 0 ERA, and he's gonna take over the closer this season. And
Yeah, he's a big dude too. He's
that-
6'3", 220 pounds.
Yeah,
He's a big boy.
He's a total package, man.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad that Gino's back to getting these kids to come to school, to come down here, to transfer. He's getting kids that, it's expensive to come to Miami, man. It's not like, the state schools, you got full rides. Miami's kids got to come out of pocket with thousands of dollars just for the privilege of playing here, And I'm being
Right.
fantastic with the privilege because these kids can go play anywhere. So, that Gino's been able to lure these kids to transfer here and to stay is a tremendous achievement by him again. So I'm excited, man, And I think Miami's going to have a lot of success on the mound, and it's necessary. But I think that the story this year is going to be the home run derby. Cleveland,
Toral, yeah.
Castillo, and you know, these are kids that are going to be playing Major League Baseball, you know, in the near future. And we're going to get a chance to see them. Like we've seen so many of them, you know, Grandal, Alonso, we can go on and on and on. You know, go out and play Major League Baseball and win World Series.
Right, and the future's bright. I mean, we got the #1 recruiting class too.
Yep.
So I mean,
Gino's doing
a tremendous.
Gino's not only winning. Yeah, Gino's not only winning and returning, you know, Miami baseball to the culture, you know, of winning, you know, and playing in Omaha and all that. But he's doing everything. He's winning now. He's preparing for the future, and you know, by osmosis, basically, he's helping us forget, you know, the last couple of years that have been difficult. You know.
Yeah, we got the freshmen. This team is loaded with a bunch of young players, and if they develop like their potential, oh man, we should be making plenty of trips to Omaha.
That, you know, and Gino's a guy that, you know, he's a fan coach, and the reason I say that is, you know, he's as excited and as motivated as us, you know, screaming and yelling, you know, in the stands. And he's
right.
So whenever I bump into him, you know, before games, he's like, you guys make sure to make that noise, man. That noise not only gets us pumped, it gets me going, you know, and you know, unlike Morris, man, the last couple of years of Morris, you know, sometimes we were like, go down there and poke him. I don't know if he's dead or asleep, you know?
Right.
Yeah,
is he sleeping? What's going on?
You know, the guy's down there. You know, and so Gino's motivated. Gino's happy to be there. Gino's fire, you know, and I think that, you know, the kids play off of that, and they feed off of that.
Yep.
You know, and Mark Black Field, you know, and to me it'll always be Mark Black Field. You know, it's a special place. It's the last venue left in Miami from the old days. They knocked down Bowie Mahulo Stadium. They knocked down the Orange Bowl. You know, they taken all the home field, and Mark Light is the only place where you can go. And I mean, for me, my brothers were in the Frazier baseball camps. You know, when we were kids. And, yeah, I grew up fishing in those canals around UM and getting chased off and riding my bike to Mark Light, you know, and when there was bleachers, and, you know, and those memories are fond, and my kid grew up there, you know, and I'm hoping to take my grandkids there, you know, no time soon.
Hell yeah.
But you know, so it's a tradition, man. It's you can feel, you know, the ghost of old great Miami sports in that place.
Well, I know you moved out there. Well, you're moving up to around the Central Florida area, and you know I'm out here in the West, so we're gonna have to come out there and we're gonna have to sit and watch a game together. I would love to do that with you one day.
Absolutely, brother. I'm gonna maintain my baseball tickets, regardless, because I'm gonna be coming down here. I'm gonna be coming down here for weekend. I got my son here. You know, my nieces are down here. We got all our families down here. We're really on an expedition. It's like, you know, they want us to stick our foot in the pool and tell them if it's cold, because everybody's planning on leaving eventually.
Right.
You know, so we're checking it out for them. But I plan to come back for baseball and make a couple of football games, you know, during the season too. You know, football is more difficult for me now because, you know, volunteering at the farm and work we do with rescues and stuff like that is on the weekends. You know, but I definitely gonna be making games, and absolutely, brother, we're buying God willing, once my wife decides. The only part of this process that I'm involved in, the only part of this process that I have a say in is the size of the lot that we're getting. I told her it has to be over an acre because I have to be able to keep my horses on there. So we're gonna have a setup, and we're gonna be out there, and you know, everyone's welcome in our home, especially Kane's family. You know,
absolutely,
it's family. That's what we are, brother. We might not be winning right now, but the fans are undefeated. You know, we show up,
undefeated.
We make noise.
Absolutely. Hell yeah. Well, speaking of that, you got a couple minutes we can go over this schedule?
Yeah, bro. I'm doing 70 on the turnpike right now, so I'm good.
There you go. All right, so you know what, the season starts February 19th up in Gainesville against Florida.
Yes,
How
sir.
do you see that? How do you see that going out? Because February, basically, we just have Florida and Virginia Tech, a 3-set series. We got 3 in Gainesville, and then we come home for 3 for against Virginia Tech. How do you see us coming out of February?
I mean, I gotta tell you, man, I gotta go off of what we saw last year, and again, Florida had a lot of kids, go pro, and graduate and stuff like that. I don't know how many they brought back, but it's nowhere near 8 like us. So this team has a bad taste in its mouth from getting whooped up and swept at home, which was an embarrassment for fans, players, coaches alike. So I would hope that they're going up to Gainesville with a chip on their shoulder, and ready to scrap, because I don't care what the condition is, number 1, number 100, whoever, that's always a fight when you go up there and they come down here. I'm hoping to take 2 out of 3. I don't want to be, the blind ass fan like Big O says, but I'd like them to sweep. But I'm hoping to take 2 out of 3, and then Virginia Tech down here, also a tough series. It's a tough 6-game start to the season, man.
Exactly.
I'm hoping to win both series. I'm hoping to win both series, and everything that we just went through and we just talked about and went over is fuel to that fire. It's indicative that they should come out of February, 4-2, if not 5-1. 6-0 would be,
that would be
awesome.
amazing.
I'm hoping they win both series.
Right. The only one that I'm worried about is the Florida series. I think we can sweep Virginia Tech, going over, their roster and everything. I think we can sweep Virginia Tech, but Florida's the only one because, I mean, the last 11 times we've met, it hasn't been really good for us. So we gotta break that series. Yeah, we gotta break that series. So
I mean, year before last in Gainesville, man, you don't come any closer to winning a game than that Friday and the Saturday game, right? The pass ball, the homer towards the end, and I mean, you don't come any closer to beating a good team in their home field than what we came in Gainesville, and it's just it's a head scratcher. But again, these kids should have a really bad taste in their mouth, going to Gainesville this year. They should be ready, and they should be, honestly, looking for blood, because they were embarrassed. They were chased out of their own park last year, and it was brutal. And I know a lot of those kids, I know a lot of the parents, they sit with us. They've been a part of the mob for years, and, they were embarrassed. They were. It was a surprise, because we all thought that we were, if not sweep, we were going to win the series against Florida. We all walked away with wow.
Yeah, I know, I did too. I had to turn off the TV. I couldn't watch it anymore. That last game on Sunday was pretty bad.
Imagine being there in person. You can't turn on. You can close your eyes, but you're still.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. It doesn't get much easier for them in March. I mean, in March they got NC State, then they got Wake Forest. Well, in between they got FGCU, and then they got FAU. But I think we can take FAU, and then they got Florida State, and then Virginia. Yeah, Florida Gulf Coast.
Oh, yeah, FGCU is no pushover either.
Right. No.
They give us they're scrappy. Remember, all these Florida teams are very talented, because what happens? Again, there's so many kids that play baseball in the state. So many kids want to come play here. All these little schools get scraps and leftovers, from Florida, Miami, and Florida State. And those scraps and leftovers, the term is deceiving, because there's a lot of good ball players that can't make the big three, and they end up at UCF, Florida Gulf Coast. What's the name of Bethune? You got these kids that and they play with a chip on their shoulder, because they're like, I wanted to be in Miami, and they didn't recruit me. So you know what? When I go to Miami, I'm gonna show out.
Yeah, I'm gonna blast.
You see it in FIU. Yeah, you see it in FIU. You see it with SAU. You see it with all those teams that come in for those midweek games.
All right, so March is going to be a rough schedule. I mean, they really don't have it easy. I mean, with this shortened season, they're packing them in pretty quick, because then in April they got a series with Duke, then they got Pitt, and then Clemson. Clemson's been playing really good ball. And then they got North Carolina, and then at the end of April, the beginning of May, they got Boston College. And then they got a 3 series against Appalachian State. So they don't have a really easy schedule. And then the end of May, they got Georgia Tech, and then Louisville. I don't remember how good Louisville did last year. I tried to look it up, but I couldn't really find stats in time. Do you remember how Louisville did last year?
I don't think they had a great season. I think they were middle of the road. I know they didn't make Omaha, so no. I don't think they had their Louisville's usually a stout put together ball club. I will say this, man. What this schedule does for Miami is returns us to the old days of football. Anywhere, anybody, anywhere, anytime.
Right.
You play your schedule, and I expect them, even with this rough schedule, shortened schedule, and shortened season, to be in Omaha or wherever they decide to play. We're on
right. Yeah, I got you.
So whatever happens, I expect them to be in the postseason. I hope that they open up the games and we can have regionals, super regionals, whatever. The more games at home, the better for us. Especially since I'm probably going to be moving, towards the end of the season. I want to get as many in as I can. But, it's a challenge. And my challenge to them, and to Gino is, play up to your potential. And don't play down the teams. On the contrary, beat the teams that you're supposed to beat. And being Miami, being 7 in the country, I think we're at, and being so talented, you should beat everybody.
Right.
It's a high bar, but you should beat everybody.
Right. Well, the ceiling is Omaha for the guys this year, I believe. I mean, if they fall short of, I mean, I'm not saying they're going to win the series, but if they don't get to at least the semis, I think it's a failure this year, in my opinion.
Have you been in the locker room? Have you ever been in the locker room at Mark Light? All right, I'll tell you. The word Omaha is sprawled. It's everywhere. I think somebody even wrote it in crayon on the bathroom wall. It's a one-track mind. It's one focus goal, year in, year out, and I think that was Morris's undoing. That he took his eyes off the prize. Gino has no such problem. Gino thinks like us. Anything less than Omaha is, not going to say a failure, but they didn't do well.
Well, he won't be satisfied, that's for sure.
Yeah, Gino's not satisfied unless he's playing in Omaha and on the last day of the series, of the tournament, because he wants to play for national championships. That's why anybody comes to play, coach. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was going to say that's why he wants his rings now. He's ready for his rings.
Absolutely. And he's doing everything that you can ask of a skipper to get a ring. He's putting teams together. He's recruiting. He's brought back, that culture that if you're recruited by Miami, you come play baseball here, your goal should be Omaha. You shouldn't be looking into the pros. You shouldn't be looking, to win regionals. You shouldn't be looking for personal glory or stats. You should be looking as a team and as a team player to lift your team as far as you can and make it to Omaha. And then once you're Omaha, the goal changes. Once you get to Omaha, the goal is to win it all.
All right, Les. Well, let's wrap this up. I know we've kept you for quite a long time. We really appreciate it. So I understand you do a lot of volunteer work with animals and everything. Do you have a site or anybody that they can come visit, maybe donate time or money or anything for you?
Man, Twitter gets a bad rap, but I got to be honest with you, Twitter has been such a blessing to me and Maureen. We've met thousands of people that started off as strangers, became friends, and are now family. I can't tell you how many times people DM me, text me, because basically everybody has my number, offering food. and anybody can get at me at Twitter, at Cutler Ridge Labs. The biggest help you can do for me, is to go on to helpthehorses.org and donate to the farm. There's so many abandoned animals, livestock. We have cows. I lost count of the sheep. Sheep love Christmas trees, by the way.
I didn't know that.
So,
that's funny.
I got a video. I gotta find the video, and I gotta show it. I gotta put it on there, bro. I literally drop a Christmas tree in the sheep field, turn around, go on the other side of the gate, and by the time I gotta pick up the thump, they tear it up. So yeah, donate to help the horses. You know, and adopt, man. And if you see an animal on the street, a dog, a cat, feed it. If you can't take it home, you know, pick it up. You know, take it to get fixed. You know, we gotta fix these cats. You know, they gotta stop having kittens. You know, they're dying, and they're you know, and they're overpopulating, and they're getting sick. And we just gotta find a way to get it under control. And the best way to do it is you pick up a cat, take it to the Humane Society. They'll fix it for free. Pick it back up and drop it off where you found it. You know. But yeah, helpthehorses.org, and hit me up on Twitter. You know, I'm always, you know, looking for dog food. Right now, I think we're feeding something like 16 dogs on the street and about 3 or 4 cat colonies. You know, we're trying to trap dogs. We found one on Sunday that I'm gonna end up keeping because she loves me. So, you know,
have you told your wife yet?
Yeah, I broke it to her. I showed her a video of the dog all over me, and she's like, "We're keeping her, aren't we?" I go, "Yes." You know, so but we're gonna be all right. I'm gonna have room to keep lots of dogs up north, so we're gonna be good. But yeah, help out the animals, man. That's my heart. And then, you know, I'm not gonna get in politics, but the political climate is so bad, and there's so much hate and division. You know, be kind to each other. If I have to ask you for something, be kind to each other. Hate, you know, we're one big family, which is Miami's a big city, very small community, and we all know each other. And just be kind to each other, bro. And you can call me. You can let me know to come on here anytime, man. It's a pleasure. I told you I'll be willing to lock in every Monday, you know, and during the season and break down baseball. And, you know, once football starts, you know, hopefully it's not misery. Because if it gets too negative, I'll just go in my hole. You know,
bro, as I told you earlier, man,
you have the phone
number. You have the phone number. We record every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Matt and I were just talking about in the next couple of weeks, we're going to be broadcasting live just through our speaker app. So we're able to you'll be able to catch us live as we record. But we're just not set up for that just yet. That's the only reason why we haven't done it yet. So in a couple of weeks, we'll be set up. And then you can call in. And if you call in, matter of fact, we'll have to get you a Skype account where you can sit on the board with us and people can call in and you can answer their questions. How's that?
Let's do it, bro. Let's do it. So I'll call you guys next Monday right around 8 o'clock. You know, I'm Cuban, so I can never give you an exact time. But it goes within, you know, a few minutes of when but I'll definitely call in. I've had a great time, man. You know, it's been relaxing considering all the stress that I've been going through. And my wife has put me through the last few days. So, you know.
Well, that's what we're here for. We're here for the entertainment for the people, my man. No, it's actually our honor, to be honest with you. I mean, like I said, I've been following you for a long time on Twitter. We've had a couple back and forths, you know, nothing major, just all friendly stuff. And when the baseball schedule was announced, I told Matt, I said, man, I got to get Laz on and talk about baseball. So I really appreciate you coming on, man. And you know the number. I'll text you every Tuesday morning and let you know we're recording. If you can make it, you can. If not, we'll catch you on the next one.
Man, I'm going to pencil you in Tuesdays, and best believe that I'm going to call you guys and talk about the greatest college baseball program in the history of college baseball, established by the guy that put college baseball on the map, which is Ron Frazier, the wizard. That to many of us, you know, was a father figure and was a kind man. His daughters, Liz and her sister are awesome people. They don't miss a game. And so many people that make up the Markline mob, you know, they deserve for their team to be covered and talked about and you know put out in Front Street. You know, baseball tries like no other. And they deserve our support. So I'll be on here every Tuesday, bro.
Yeah, I'm a rarity. I'm a Canes fan through and through. I watch all Canes sports, basketball, football, baseball, women's. It doesn't matter. I'm all Canes all the time. So we appreciate it. We'll catch you next week. We're gonna go ahead and let you go, man. Enjoy the rest of your night. Say hi to the wife, and we'll definitely catch you later on, my man.
You got it, my brothers. Take care. Go Canes. God bless.
Yes, sir. Go Canes. It is. Absolutely wonderful. I love talking to that guy.
Awesome, man. He's just like full of life, man.
He is. He is so busy. Like this morning, because when I first asked him to come on the show, I did it through Twitter. He immediately gives me a cell phone number. Says, "Hey man, text me that in the morning. That morning to remind me." So I texted him this morning, just a reminder. This is me coming on the show tonight, blah blah. And for like 2 hours, we chatted, just texting back and forth, just about everything. So I mean, I pretty much know his whole life. Anyway, he's a great guy. Great guy. Great.
Yeah, he's a great guy, man.
Yeah, got a big heart. Wife's got a big heart. I mean, so if you guys can contribute, it was what was it? Feedthehorses.org.
Mm-hmm.
Go there and contribute. And if you don't have anything, contact us here, and we can pass anything on to Laz or whatever we need to do for you guys. Okay.
Sounds good, man.
All right. So now I know he called as we were finishing up our 305 check-in. We went a little long with Laz, which I knew was going to happen, which is fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
So, but I mean, we can just take a quick little break, and then on the backside, we'll come back, and then we'll finish up our 305. We'll do a little bit of picks and everything, and we'll get on out of here.
Sounds good, man. What is going on, guys? We are back. Caniacs. We were talking some Canes. I don't remember exactly what we were talking about before last calls, but it doesn't really matter. I think we were talking basketball.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think you were done with basketball.
Yeah.
We were just about to get into some of the football talk, some of the new news.
Oh yeah.
T-Rob was hired. Who else? We got the defense is final. Blake Baker's still on staff as of right now.
Well, I think the only new news is that Manny is going to be calling plays. I think that's what happened during our bye week.
Right, Manny's calling plays. Blake Baker still has the DC label. He's going to be coaching linebackers. Travaris Robinson, everybody knows as T-Rob, is the defensive back coach. DVD is the cornerback coach. And Mike Rump has been moved, to the recruiting role on the inside, and DVD has been put on the field.
Which is
the only
interesting.
Everybody says it's interesting, but then the more research I did, come to find out that pretty much Rump is basically a pencil pusher now, sort of. My understanding is he's not going to go into any recruit's home. He's not going to be on the phone with recruits. He's basically just going to be in an area, finding talent, reporting talent back to, I guess, the DVD.
So more of like an analyst role, sort of?
Correct. He's going to be going around to the schools. He's, people got prospects. He checks prospects out. He says, this guy's good. You should check him out, blah, 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 whatever. That's my understanding. My understanding, he's not going into a home. He's not making phone calls. Him going into that role, I know everybody's saying, well, he sucked at recruiting. Well, maybe this might help him out in his recruiting since he's not going to homes. Because we have probably the best defensive recruiter on the staff now with T-Rob. That's a big hire.
Yeah. Did you see, by the way, too? I know I told you about this before. The Behind the U podcast with what's his name? Is it Josh Darrow or something? Yeah. I think he just interviewed T-Rob as his last podcast. So I still have to give that a listen, but I think it'll be really interesting to see.
I heard it.
Oh, you heard it already?
Man, let me tell you something. Between listening to that, now I kind of understand why he's here. He chose to come here. He had other options to go. He chose to come here. And he said in that podcast, the reason why he came here was because of Manny. What Manny's vision is, he said he's talked with Blake. He's talked with everybody. He's talked with D. Matter of fact, it's funny because he gets on the DVD a little bit how T-Rob's path was from a lower school. He had to work himself up to where he is now, and DVD goes straight to Miami. So he's giving a bunch of crap about that. So, but it's a great interview. I recommend everybody listen to it. So I also listened to Through the Smoke with Andrew Ivins. So Andrew Ivins and Gabby was on their podcast today, and they were talking about, the 7-on-7 tournament they were just up at. Bunch of people. One thing that caught my mind was this little soundbite here, and I'm going to play it real quick.
A lot of people want to, since Miami has hired Travaris Robinson or T-Rob, have wondered what kind of impact he will have on the recruiting trail. And on Sunday, at one point, I was walking around the fields, and Jaheim Singletary, he's a 5-star corner top 3 corner in the country. He's out of the Jacksonville area. Robert E. Lee. He actually came up to me and he goes, "Hey man, Miami's definitely like involved in my recruitment." I'm like, "Oh, like you just committed to Ohio State? What do you mean?" He goes, "Well, I'm a big T-Rob fan. Like I really like T-Rob. That's my guy. So I'm probably gonna talk to them moving forward."
So basically, a 5-star recruit, defensive back, who just recently committed to Ohio State, walked up to Andrew Ivins. Andrew Ivins didn't go to him. He walked up to Andrew Ivins, and pretty much because T-Rob is here, he wants to talk to Miami now from moving forward. I mean, that shows you already right there. One guy come in, because I mean, there was people posting when he got hired. Oh, why are they hiring a guy with that bad defense and this and that? Well, yeah, he was a bad defensive there, but he wasn't responsible for the whole defense. I mean, he's put people in the league. He's got multiple people he's put in the league. Right.
SEC
I mean, he's
football.
And so just hearing that, and already we got people that just committed. They're like, whoa, wait a minute, I got to reconsider this now. That's freaking huge, huge. So, I mean, I don't know, man. I'm excited. I'm really excited to see what's going to happen in the spring now.
I know. I am too. I think that this is kind of, I don't want to say a make or break year for Manny, but I mean, wouldn't you agree if they come out and the defense is just like terrible? Which I mean, I think they're gonna struggle a little bit just in terms of like you look at the pass rushers we're losing this year.
Who? Just 2.
What do you mean just 2?
Well, we're missing Jalen and Roche.
Yeah, but I mean, you can't just say just.
Understand that, but I mean,
Jalen's gonna be a first-round pick.
Yeah. Hey, did you see? Sorry to go off topic, but did you see the little clip of Roche at the Senior Bowl?
No.
Bro, he smoked that offensive tackle out of Alabama. Smoked him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean it was bad. even the guy that was running the video was like, "Oh shit."
You hear him in the video?
Yeah, you hear him in the video going, "Oh shit." Yeah,
Oh
he's
my
smoking pretty
God.
good. Sorry,
That's
but go ahead.
awesome.
But what I mean is and I meant to say this to Laz earlier, but is this whole run it back thing. This whole run it back. People are coming back. Seniors are coming back. Juniors are coming back. People that would normally leave are coming back. I mean, that's huge for this program.
Yeah.
Huge. It hasn't happened in so long. So, I mean, I understand that people still don't agree that Manny is the head coach. I'm still up in the air, but I'm willing to give him, like I told him earlier, one more year. I mean, and you're right. If the defense comes out and it's looking like crap, then I'm going to start flying banners. I mean,
Yeah.
that's just how it is. I mean, I think that this is a make or break year for Manny. He's taken over to calling the plays duties. He has no more excuses. Everything's on his shoulders. He can't blame anybody else now, so it's all on him. So, I mean, go ahead.
I kind of got something to say too. You just kind of reminded me actually. I think it's kind of funny too. The people, I know I mentioned this beforehand too. I think it was on the last episode of when we were talking about everyone coming back, and I was annoyed that people were complaining, like, "Oh, why are you?" or not complaining, but just saying, "Why are you coming back? You're not going to play." Like, you know, like when Cam Harris announced, and they were like, "Oh, you know, Don Chaney's going to start. Why are you coming back?" You know, and it's like, oh, okay, we're too good for him now, but it's like, but we're not too good in terms of like we're still begging recruits to come here by getting, you know, hashtags started. Like,
Right.
You know what I mean?
Which is funny
And
because
that's not a shot at like anyone starting that. I'm just saying the people that, you know, are saying like, "Oh, why are you coming back?" and then they're
Right.
also, you know, begging for these recruits, you know.
Yep,
That's
gotcha.
more so what I'm arguing, you know.
No,
It's
I
just
gotcha.
funny to me.
Yeah, I understand that Don Chaney and Jalen Knighton are probably better than Cam, faster, whatever. But it's depth, people. It doesn't matter if he starts or whatever. It's depth. It's competition. It's we need running back is a very physical position. I mean, you are running and smacking in the linebackers and linemen. So, I mean, if let's just say, God forbid, Chaney gets hurt, Knighton gets hurt.
Yeah, Knighton was hurt at the end of the season. Like,
Right. So, I mean, who are you going to rely on?
Yeah.
Oh my
Burns.
God, no. Well, Burns, yeah, but I mean, yeah, anyways.
Wait, did
The fresh-
Burns
no,
declare? Is
no,
he
the-
coming back?
I don't know, but I'm
I'm
trying
just
to think
messing.
of the freshman that we just got, the running
Oh,
back.
Thad?
What's his-
Thad
Thad.
Franklin?
Yeah, Thad Franklin. I mean, I just haven't seen him yet. Now, don't know what he can do, but I mean, I'd rather, from this exact moment in time, I'd rather have Cam than, Thad running the ball.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, it's all depth. We need depth. I mean, these people these guys coming back help us in the long run because it gives the younger guys a chance to develop more. They don't have to be thrown in. You know what I mean? If
Absolutely.
they're not ready. So that's all I got. I'm done with my rant on that one.
Yeah. Hey, man, do you want to settle this down and we can go into some picks, or how do you feel about
let's
that?
go. Yeah, let's go ahead and do some picks. I mean, we've been doing this for a while. Let's do some picks.
Should we take another commercial break and then we can come back with some picks?
Yeah, let's do that. Let's roll it out.
Okay. Sounds good. Caniacs, are you ready to make some picks?
Yes, I'm ready.
So I'm going to just kind of recap what happened 2 weeks ago, I guess.
Yeah, because the score was 10-9. You were up.
No, it wasn't. It was 13-10.
Sorry, it was a
You
week
went-
before. It was.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
I tried.
Trying
I
to pull a
tried.
fast one. No, it's 13-10,
Well, you must have been
bro.
keeping notes.
So, college basketball game, we had Eastern Michigan versus Central Michigan. You took Eastern and I took Central. Central ended up winning. And then there was a soccer match. You took Alajuz Lens. I don't even know how to pronounce it. And I took Perez Zeledon. And Alujez won. And then there was
There
a
we go.
hockey match that I think it got canceled because I couldn't find anything about it. That's the only downside about picking random sports like this.
Right.
So that
That's
one,
fine.
we're just scratching that one. So it's 14-11. Margin is still the same. So nothing much to say about that. But I was thinking that we could pick some college basketball games. How do you feel about that?
Let's do it.
So, first on the schedule, we are strictly doing the ASUN conference. I have no idea what conference that is. Is it Atlantic Sun?
Okay.
Is that what it is?
Sure. We'll go
Okay.
with whatever you say it is.
Okay. So we got Bellarmine, who is 7-5, 4-2 in the division, versus Kennesaw State, who's 3-13 and 0-8 in the conference.
Oh, come on. I'm not picking the 0-8 guys. That's for sure.
I was hoping you would.
Yeah.
Who are you-
Well, I'm
who are
glad
you
you let me
taking?
go first.
Who are you taking?
The one that's not 0-8. The first
Okay,
team you said.
I'm gonna take Kennesaw State. They have a
Is
few
that-
guys coming back from injury, so I believe in them.
Okay. Gotcha.
No, I'm just messing with you. I have no idea.
Oh, no, it's written down already.
Whatever. All right. Next up, we have got Liberty taking on Jacksonville. Jacksonville is a team that Miami actually played, and they almost beat Miami. Liberty is 4-2, and Jacksonville is 3-3. Who are you taking?
Jacksonville.
Okay, I'm gonna take Liberty. And to end it all, we got North Alabama versus North Florida. North Alabama's 5-1 in the conference, and North Florida's 4-2. I'm gonna take North Alabama.
Good, because I
Who
was
are
going
you
to take Florida anyway.
You're gonna take North Florida?
Mhm.
Okay. So that's pretty much it. Those are the ones I had. So I mean, we'll see what happens. I think I'm gonna
Let's
build
see
on
what
my
happens.
lead, but
Yeah, whatever.
we'll see what happens.
I'll let you
Uh,
get a little lead, and then at the end there, I'll just come on in at the end. Win it
Sounds
all.
I doubt it, but whatever you say. I mean, good luck. May the better man win, and I know that's going to be me. So,
Oh, shit. Here we go. Here we lies being told.
oh my god. So, man, I know I'm going to be super busy with work still. But what do you got going on this weekend? Anything good?
Just normal stuff. I'm probably going to watch a little bit of the Pro Bowl, get ready for my Buccaneers to win the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, we didn't even talk about that. Okay,
Yeah.
that's what I wanted to bring up to you actually is I saw a stat that Tom Brady's more likely to go to the Super Bowl percentage-wise than Steph Curry is to make a three.
I know, I posted that.
Oh, you posted that?
Well, I retweeted it.
Oh, you retweeted it. I saw it on Instagram. So
yeah,
I saw it on Instagram, so that's why I didn't know it was you. But I thought that's hilarious.
Yeah, it was funny. The Tom Brady stat is something like he can get that. This is his 10th Super Bowl in 21 years. So his winning percentage, or his Super Bowl percentage is like 46% or something like that. And Steph Curry's 3-point shooting percentage is like 43%. So it's more likely that Tom Brady will make the Super Bowl than Steph Curry will make a three.
Which is hilarious, by the way.
Yeah. We all know it's bullshit. It's all jokes. We get it. Just enjoy laughing. Have a laugh.
Have you seen all the memes too of like Tom Brady versus Patrick Mahomes, and it's like Yoda and Grogu, or like all the other ones too. It's hilarious.
The old goat against the mini goat and the young goat. It's just it's funny. But I know that we started a new segment called the Twitter. What was it? The funny.
The tweet of the week.
The tweet of the week.
I completely forgot about it.
That's all right.
Did you have one?
We don't have just one. I'm gonna give the tweet of the week to anybody who made a Bernie Mittens meme.
Oh
that
my
has
God.
been the funniest thing on Twitter, on the internet since it started. Oh my God, that is so funny.
Anyone hating on that, I don't want to talk to you, and you're probably not fun at a party.
You're not fun at any party. That's exactly right.
I think I literally have, like, I'm scrolling through my phone right now. I have like 30 of them at least. I don't know if you remember, I posted the one of him on the casting couch next to a certain actress.
Mm-hmm. There's been so many. There's actually a website where you can go to. I don't remember what it is exactly, but I'm sure you can find it.
Build a Bernie?
No, you actually go on there and you put any address, Bernie will show up there.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you type in your home address, boom, Bernie will show up there.
That's hilarious.
It's great. Yeah, so that's got to be the tweet. I mean, every one of them's funny. I mean, I have not seen one that I was upset about.
No,
it's ridiculous. I love it. And the great thing is he's actually made money off of this, and he's donated all the money to charity to help feed Americans. So that's and my understanding is he's like 8 weeks or 8 months behind in orders or something like that for the shirt.
Oh wow.
Yeah, something like that.
I'm gonna have to pick up one of those, man.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's hilarious.
Well, yeah, plus it's hilarious. I mean, plus you're going to help somebody. He's not taking any of the proceeds. It's all donated 100%. So I'm definitely going to have to get me one.
Yeah, no matter how you feel politically, I think that everyone can get behind the Bernie memes.
Exactly.
Well, man, you want to wrap this one up and
yep, let's wrap it up.
Night?
I just want to say thanks to everybody once again for listening to us. Please subscribe to us, follow us on Twitter, listen to us on all your platforms. We're on every major platform there is to have a podcast on. What about you? You got anything you want to get to, or anything that you got going on this weekend?
I just wanted to say, man, I know we touched on it a little bit, but I just want to say rest in peace, Kobe Bryant.
Oh, yeah.
As someone who grew up in Southern California, he made a huge impact on my life. You know, as someone who was a basketball player, I played all in high school and stuff, and he was the reason why I started playing and I wanted to coach and stuff. And you know, it's just surreal. So I mean, I don't want to get too emotional about this, but you know,
no, I get you, brother.
It's just a tragedy, and you know, prayers to all the people that were affected by that tragedy.
It just goes again to show you, life's short, man. Life's short. Have fun. I mean, this political, like he said, last said, you know, politics aside, love thy neighbor, man. I mean, enjoy life. Life's too short, man.
Exactly.
All right, well, let's get out of here. You have a great day.
Will do, man.
All right, brother. You have a great night.
Okay.
Okay.
Peace.